So what is a memory leak? Let's use C++ to learn how we can fix and prevent these from happening in our applications. Let's say that we wanted to do the simple arithmetic of 3 plus 2 equals 5. We're going to set up a program here in just a second where the 3 is a known value. We're going to go and fetch the 2. We're going to create it in memory and then return it. And then we'll do the arithmetic to get the 5. And we'll show you some pretty interesting results as a result of that. So let's get started. Let's first set up all the variables that we're going to need. So let's set up the integers. Okay. So first one we said we know. We'll call that int a, and we're going to set that to 3. Okay. And then the second one we said we're going to go create it in memory and return that result. So right now we're just going to declare it. And then in this call we'll set it. Okay. So before I write the rest of this command, let's talk about pointers for a second. A pointer is just a variable that points to a location in memory. The name says it all. So now if you print out that raw memory address, which we'll do in a second, you'll get a memory address. You won't get the value within that memory location. Instead, you have to dereference it. And by that, we use the asterisk symbol to dereference the pointer. So then we will get the value pointed to by that reference. Let's go on, and this will be a little bit more clear. Let's do a get other integer function, okay? And that's going to return, it's going to be a pointer function that's going to return the value that we want to set b to. Let's create that function. First thing we need to do, it's going to return an integer, right? So let's start setting that up in its definition. Next, it is going to be a pointer because we're doing this dynamically in memory. We're doing this on the heap. So that's the whole point of this tutorial. So we're going to make this a pointer function. And then, of course, the name of it. Get other integer. All right. So first thing we need to do, we've got to declare that integer, right? So int, and this is a pointer, pointing to a location in memory, and then we're going to initialize that location in memory. So now here, to prove my point before, let's do a cout, and we're going to b equals, and we're just going to print the raw value of b. Then let's set that the value pointed to by b is 2. Now that's a key phrase. Let me write this down. Value pointed to by. That's what the star means. We're going to set the value pointed to by b equal to 2. Then let's return that pointer. Boom. I've got the value there I'm looking for. So now let's three plus 2 is equal to, so we're going to do a plus b. Okay, think we got it? Let's compile. I got to save that first. Sorry, hold on. Now let's compile. Boom. Got a clean compile here. And I could have just hit run, but let's run it. Boom. Okay. We declared and initialized a, set it to 3. We declared b and set it to the value pointed to by a function. that function initialized a pointer on the heap, and we printed out that pointer. Remember, we printed the raw value of it, and there it is. There's our address that it returned. So then we set the value pointed to by B to 2 and returned that value. Okay? So again, the value pointed to by getOtherInteger returned 2, we set to B. So now we simply do our arithmetic. 3 plus 2, A plus B equals 5. So our program works, right? Everything is great. Well, let's see what memory thinks about that. So I'm already in my memory leak tutorial directory, and we're going to run a program called Valgrind. Valgrind is one of the greatest tools you can use for memory leaks to track them down. And I'll show you how to install this on later tutorials. And your installation may not be in user local bin. It might be user bin. It just depends on the platform you're on. I'm on a Mac here, so it's going to be user local bin. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to tell it what tool we want to use, and that's going to be a tool called memcheck. Next, we're going to tell it that we want to do a full leak check. So leak check equals full. And then we're going to create a log file. And we're going to set that to valgrind output.txt. And then we're going to run our application. And I can tell you that's going to be in debug. And it's the compiled version of the application. Tutorial memory leak. Okay, so let's see what it does. Valgrind's first just going to run the application. And it does same result, right? B, we got our memory address, and then 3 plus 2 equals 5. Well, let's see what actually happened in the log. So if I print out that look at this. Leak summary definitely lost 4 bytes in one block. So if you go up, scroll up a little bit, you'll see a heap summary, and you'll see some statistics about it. But then here, definitely lost. That's a key phrase that you look for in Valgrind. And there's our 4 bytes. So what did it do? Well, we did a memory allocation, and that was requested by getOtherInteger, line 14. So let's go to our code. GetOtherInteger, line 14. There's where we declare it, and there's where we do the new. Okay? So this is the problem. Whenever you do a new in C++, you've got to do a delete. It's just the rule. Otherwise you leak memory. So when you do a new, you need to do a delete. But, a couple problems. We returned before we could do a delete. And if we do a delete before the return, we lose our value. So this is not designed well. We should never do this. And the results are pretty clear. The reason is because we leak memory. So now can you imagine if you called this over and over and over and over and over again? Eventually you'd run out of memory and your application would crash. So I hope this kind of explains what memory leaks are. A lot of times that's a very it's a concept that's difficult to grasp. Try this yourself. Type out these commands. Try to run it in Valgrind. Play with it a little bit and see what you can come up with. Give me a thumbs up on this video, and then down below in the comments, tell me how you think we should fix this. I can give you a hint. It's going to be in this area up here. Tell me how you think we should do it, and on the next tutorial, we'll get into it. I'll give you a couple of examples of how we can do this. Thanks for listening, everybody.